Looking at the price of EOS, we are looking at it from an objective point of view, and just looking at it looks like a disaster, right? And the reason why is pretty simple. And then I'm going to explain why the disaster is actually a blessing in disguise, potentially. So I always tell people, when you look at the chart, always go back to their 2017 all-time high. Did the coin break the all-time high? In this case, it didn't. But the difference here is, here's the C19 low. The price broke the C19 low, and it didn't break a new all-time high. So, for example, most coins had their all-time high, they had their bear market, and then they went into new all-time highs. They came down, they retraced, they came down more, right? And now they're like up here. That's like most coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, pretty much all of them. So, would you rather buy something up here or something down here? Now, it could work against you if you do that, right? Because this thing can continue to fall, right? So at that point, when I don't hold any EOS at the moment, maybe that might change. One thing you should do is look at the developers, right? I remember when EOS first came out, it was the hottest coin there was. It was flying like big time, and it was going all up and through here. So, I mean, we went up about over 3,200% right in here, and this high about 4,600%. And then what has happened since is pretty much devastation. So what I do like about it, though, is we have a price that's relatively cheap compared to where it started out. I mean, we're like right at the same area of where it started out. So we're here, started out here. So if we went below here, then that'll be not too good, right? What I do like about it is this. We have an impulse, a very strong impulse. So you can think, okay, that's wave one. This is wave one, mega impulse. Then we have this 1, 2, 3. Okay, that could be A. Then we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, fair enough. That could be B. And then we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have C. So, I don't know about you, but that looks pretty good. The issue, though, is the time perspective. Look how long this took, right? This was just like not that long, a few months, right? This three-way move down took years. So it's still possible, right? It's still possible. We don't know, or I'm not sure if it was, pre-trading before this pump up, right? So you have a 1, A, B, C, looking for a mega pump to finish up wave 3. And who knows if we're even in wave 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be wave 3 up here. Pull that down for wave 4. And then come up for wave 5. right? So so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of how I would look at it bullishly. So on the bottom screen is the total 3. Basically, the bottom chart represents every altcoin there is, pretty much, you know, for the majority of them. And going back to what I was saying earlier, this was the pivot right here, 2017. Look how tiny it looks compared to this, right? So you have your run up, that's your move right there. Then it had the bear market, right? Had the bear market. And then what did it do? It broke above the 2017 all-time high in a big way. But if you pull this over, we didn't even come close to it, right? So draw the line further. Actually, let me put a legit line here instead of me drawing it with my fat fingers. Okay, there we go. So there's the line, and then here's the EOS line. So there you go. That's the difference, right? The line represents, you know, basically where you are in the life of the coin, right? So the total 3, this is the total 3, it's somewhere above the all-time high. If you look at EOS, you are a long ways away from all-time high. So just getting back to all-time high, that's about 3,000%. So you're 3,000% away from all-time high, and then the majority of the market as a consensus is about 20% all-time high. So one is 20% over, the other is 3,000% under. So, you know what I mean? You could take that with what you want, but that looks like, to me, either opportunity, right? Great opportunity, but it's a lot riskier because we broke this. Now you could say, well, you're saying, you know, XRP didn't break its all-time high, and that's my most bullish asset. Yes, that's true. First of all, we didn't break the C19 low, which is very important for rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. We went below the crash, right? This is the crash right here. This is the retrace, and this is reaccumulation, but the reaccumulation went below the crash, right? So we're reaccumulating below this, which could be a problem later on, because if the price breaks out, you know, we can get strong resistance and then continue back down. So the big thing would be for me is, can we get back above the C19 low, which is about $1.50 area. Let's see, about $1.70. Can we get above $1.70? That would be the big thing for me. All right, so, and then also I would watch this trend line. And if you put it there, we did break it. I like to put it where the most touch points are. So I'd actually put it there. And then, you know, you could see we broke out, back tested it, we came up, we back tested it again, right? So let's see if we can get some follow through here. I am pretty bullish on the whole entire market. The question for me at the moment is, I'd say most coins have this impulse, this impulse right here, right there. Most coins have this big move up. Look at Filecoin, look at Theta, look at all of them. Okay, the question for me is, you know, this is your shoulder, this is your head. Are we continuing to develop the right shoulder? So basically, I would look at this as a potential inverse head and shoulders. The question is this wave finish? We have an impulse, we have a pullback. Is it going to continue higher? Or if I zoom in, do we still have some work to do? So looking at the 8-hour chart, we have this impulse to the upside. It's not really pretty impulse. It's definitely kind of a corrective impulse, as you will, but if that even is a real thing. But I look at this is direction, and then this is chop, right? So to me, that's a indication for more upside. The question is, if you want to get really down to the is this correction over? So yeah, basically I'm bullish on the entire market. I think this thing is going to continue with some follow through. Right here is a Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Right there, you have that first test, second, another one, right? It looks like an M, and then he goes down for the spring. The spring comes and breaks this liquidity right here, and then it shoots higher, right? So the question is, we can come down here, right? A, B, C, and back test this area, and then continue higher, right? And that would develop the left shoulder, the head, and then officially the right shoulder, right? So something tells me we need a little bit more of this action, this cupping action, or if it's going to be more bullish, then I would look at this like some type of bull flag, right? It's a bull flag in here, and try to always be conservative with it. So we have our concrete foundation down in here, and then we have our flagpole, right? The flagpole, and then the flag. So are we gonna continue doing this, or are we just gonna break out and continue? Either way, if we come down here and back test, either way, all three lead to the upside. Now, if we break below this blue line and this black line, and we come in here, right, and, you know, start closing below the blue line, then it's going to look a lot different. Then we'll have to come back and reevaluate. But for right now, all three, whether it's a cup, an ABC, or continuing with the bull flag, each is pointing higher because of several reasons. Going back to the 4-day chart, what I said here was that this was the C wave, right? So if this is the C wave in A, B, C, then the question becomes, is C finished? And I think it has a really good chance at being finished. Why? Because C has 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. And then on the 5th wave, down here, you see this little base, and it's not too little because it's the 4-day chart. I like the 4-day chart, just like people like the 4-hour chart. People go, why do you like the 4-day chart? I've never seen anybody use the 4-day chart. Exactly. That's why I use it, because nobody really uses it, right? 4-hour chart is extremely popular. I use the 4-day chart, right? But, it doesn't really matter. They're all different, but at the end of the day, they're all the same. So, going back to what I was saying, we have this sideways base in here, and this Wyckoff accumulation, and then the spring to the upside. So, yeah, let's see if this has some follow through. Now, the only thing that I would say here is, if this is wave 1, we got 5. This is wave 2. This is wave 3, right? And this is wave 4. So we need 5 waves in wave 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we get one more low. That's very possible. If this happens, then you're going to see something like this. And that would create what? The divergences from this wave to this wave to this wave to this wave. And that, my friends, would give us some really strong bullish divergence. And by the way, we already have bullish divergence. See how this low is lower than this low? So you have this low and you have this low. This low is lower than this low. It's trending higher. See here, it's trending higher. But down here, it's trending lower. So when you have price trending lower and RSI trending higher, that is bullish divergence. Same thing with bearish divergence, right? It's just the opposite. So we can have triple bullish divergence if we get this line, this price action right here, where we have one more wave to the downside. So let's see if we get this. Either way, I know I said if we break that line, I'd change my tune, but when you zoom out, it does look like it's almost finished. Now, it really depends how you count it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of this is wave 3. So this is wave 1, 2. Sorry, this is wave 1, 2. All of this is wave 3 because there's 5 waves in 3, right? 4, and now we need 1, 2. This could be 3, 4, 5. So all of this is 5, right? So it varies how you count it, but I would suspect that it's finished. I would suspect that it's finished. If we do get one more low, then obviously it would be finished at that point. So let's see what happens. Now, targets. Let's talk about targets. Where can this thing go? I mean, wow. I mean, I don't even know where to start here. So let's see. The targets are going to be so crazy because of how low this is. I mean, for example, let me put the EOS is way down here, right? It is about 100% away from its C19 low. That is remarkably bad for just people gave up on it, right? Or either that, or this was too high, or maybe everybody. I'm about to say something, and I need everybody to listen here. It's inflation. You got to understand, each coin has different inflation rates, right? So if EOS tagged $25, that doesn't mean it'll ever tag it ever again, because potentially it has a higher inflation rate. So it's really hard to gauge prices and price targets when you have coins that are dealing with inflation, like the meme coins. I mean, if you look at like Filecoin, now see, Bitcoin has more deflation, right? So you got to figure out, what is the inflation rate of my crypto? That is the number one thing you got to know when holding it. And I honestly haven't done the research to know what the inflation rate is on EOS, but just looking at it doesn't look good, right? But at the end of the day, it could totally change. Now, if I have a fib retracement and I take it from the bottom of this wave, I'll pull it all the way to the top of this wave, and then I'm going to pull it all the way down here. So basically, we're in no man's land here. So right off the bat, my first target would be $38. That would be my first target. So considering how low it is, I would actually be more conservative and say right here, that would be my first target, $30 to $33. Now, this thing, if it wanted, can hit between $60 and $100. So think about that. That's 100x from where it is now. 69 cents all the way to can you imagine that? Here, let me put it up here so it's easier to see. So we have the 2618, and then we have a full 4.236, and then I'll take that off. So that would be your very optimistic view. And then looking at it, right, you have a 1, A, B, C, and then this is wave 3, right? So in wave 3, you have 5 subwaves. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be wave 3. So then you have 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and then continue with your final wave, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it would be completely toast at that point, maybe, who knows, right? So yeah, it might just be one of those coins where it just, you know, came back all the way to the low. So here's the low, here's the low, right? So from a risk perspective, would I buy it? I would have to look at the inflation, but I would take a stab at it. And the reason is because of how low it is. I mean, and I remember how popular it was at the time, and sentiment can change rapidly, right? If this thing gets a 500% pump, sentiment can change big time, right? So yeah, that's basically it here. I'm looking at this, but the bullish perspective is a 1, 2, right? This is a 1, 2, very bullish. So we can get a 3, 4, 5. And the targets would be, obviously the first target, right, would be the retracement target of $2. Second target would be about $6. Third target would be $15. And then if we break all-time high, which would be very difficult, about $30 to $35. And then if you're extremely lucky, 61 to 99. Now that's a wide range of targets, but we don't have enough data to determine where it's going to go, right? There's just nothing here. I mean, that's basically the whole chart, right? I could draw a channel, and I mean, you can see it already broke below the channel. But if I just pull it down here, a good target would be the upper bounds of this channel right in here. So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this whole thing would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's sort of the conservative way I would look at it. So your guess is as good as mine on EOS. At the moment, I am bullish simply because we have 5 waves, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we could get one more to the low. We can break this low. But in that case, if we do that, I would just add to my position. But remember, not financial advice. I could be totally dead wrong. This thing can go to $500. It could go to 2/10 of a penny. I have no idea. Just looking at a chart and looking at the data. So not financial advice. So the next coin I'm going to look at is XRP. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to look at XRP, but I just wanted to show you something in regards to the EOS, right? So remember, EOS had a 1, A, B, and then it came down here for C. So EOS is down here. XRP is up here. The majority of the market is up here. So there's different levels, right? Because I always say, always use the 2017 as your pivot, right? Are coins above this? Are coins below this? Are coins close to this, right? So that's a very important to know. So yeah, if XRP was down here, I would, and knowing everything I knew about the utility value and everything, I would be loading up like you would never even, I would sell my kidney. I don't know, I'm just kidding. I would go hardcore, definitely hardcore in here. So, and then another reason why is because it would come down and essentially back test this area right in here, right? So given the fact that if, EOS was a straight line, but I'm thinking there was some sideways movement like this, we just don't see it on the chart. So here's your resistance, or here's your, resistance. You break out A, B, C, you back test it as support and then continue higher. Now, XRP can still come all the way down here. It you know what I'm saying? XRP can still go all the way down. It's just maybe EOS is just a precursor for what's to come for the rest of the market, right? So here's your C19 low, right? XRP sitting up here. Now EOS is sitting down here. I'll just type it in real fast. EOS. So it doesn't really help because I'm on log scale, but you get the idea, right? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if XRP is gonna go down, then it's gonna go down pretty hard, because if this is an A, B, and now we're in some kind of C, 1, 2, 3, long 4, 5, right? Maybe it's like a diag in here where we have something like this. We have that final flush to the downside. Maybe it gets extended, and then we continue higher. That would be the ultimate bearish case. And then for that, I would just pull up the channel like I did with EOS, and then bring it down here, and that would, boom, that would be my target right in there. So A, B, C, the base of the channel around 10, 11, 12 cents, somewhere right in here, and then we go big time to the moon. A good example as well is IOTA. If you look at IOTA, what do we see? IOTA was very, very popular. I don't know about today, but you could see it had its pivot point was up here, right? And what did it do? It had its bear market, but it never broke its all-time high. Just like EOS, just like XRP, just like XLM, just like a few others, right? It's a different category, right? If you look at coins like ADA, I mean, ADA ripped to the upside like this. And now they're like down here like this. So would you rather hold IOTA or ADA? ADA is sitting way up here. IOTA is sitting way down here. Now, obviously, this could be the winner, right? This could be a dead project. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's ISO 2022. I think it's got things going for it. I think they're compliant. But if you look at what's going on, we had a mega pump here. Look at this. Look at that big mega pump. That's a weekly candle too. So look at that. That's a pretty big breakout right there. So they had a small look. You have your shoulder, your head, and then you have this tiny little shoulder, and then look at that. Boom. Now this was a news-driven event. Here's the breakout area. Maybe let's come down here and retest this area and then continue marching to the upside in a massive way. No, I don't know. Let's see. But if you look here, this would be 1, A, B, C, right? Wyckoff accumulation, and then continue higher. So if we do get another low, if Bitcoin comes down and has a basket case, then I would just look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have plenty of wiggle room, right? Even with all the coins. And all the coins are not going to be this beautiful because most of the coins have further way to go. For example, like I just said with ADA, this was its 2017 high, bear market. ADA went way up here and then it crashed and now it's somewhere up here. So it has a long way to go down if it were to continue down. But assets like XRP, IOTA, EOS, things like that, they don't have that much further to go from that perspective. So do I think ADA is going to continue crashing to the downside? Well, let's take a look. But real quick, before I do that, just if anybody wants to know, the IOTA target would be, between $9 and $10. And then if we hit a full 4.236, that's about $27. Wow, impressive. And it's only 33 cents, go figure. So, can you imagine that? I mean, it's definitely possible. This was wave 1, A, B, C. We can get up here. And then if we do get up here, it's as if, the rest of the market, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, they're already way up there, right? If this is their high, they're way above their 2017 high, right? So this little guy has a long way to catch up. Extreme divergence. Okay, so here's ADA. I don't have enough data on the screen going back to 2017. But I'm just going to use this as the 2017 point, right? It could actually be even higher. But whatever. We'll just say it's right here. Price came down. It broke its 2017 high. And now it's basically lined up perfectly with it. So that's like the equivalent of XRP being at $3.30. So if XRP was $3.30, would you buy it? Probably not. Well, ADA is that price, right? So what are we looking for ADA? Well, ADA had a proper bull run. ADA had a mega bull run. Okay, how much time? Okay, wow, we're already at about 35 minutes. Oh boy, I think this is going to be another long one. Sorry, guys. But getting out multiple coins, so hopefully that works in our favor. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty simple, right? The question for me here is, number one, is ADA finished? And for that, I would probably go down. Let's check out the 3-day chart. I would say yes, ADA is finished. Definitely finished. Well, I can't say definitely, right? But I really, really like ADA because of the price movement here. This is a beautiful, beautiful Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. But before I do that, check this out. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So obviously you say 7 waves, that's in no textbook. Well, if you look at BCB, his 7-wave bottoming theory, it does work very well. And basically the 7th wave is just an extra of the 3rd. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 5 waves. So not to confuse anybody, we have a solid 5 waves, and we also have a beautiful Wyckoff accumulation pattern occurring at the moment. It's not perfect, right? But it is definitely worth mentioning. So basically you have 2 different schematics. Here's number 1, where you have the spring phase. And here's the accumulation schematic 2. So yeah, it's looking really, really good for this schematic here. The main part I want you to look at is this move up here, right here. Same thing with this move. Boom. This is phase B. This is secondary test in phase B all the way up. Then we sort of come all the way down, and then we're rounding out. So, and then, you know, we basically have this rounding out thing. Same thing here. It's rounding out, right? And now I want you to look at this right here. Look at this, and then look at this. This thing is poised for more upside. Not just ADA, but if this is giving us the signal, we're getting more poised than ever for upside, then you better be prepared, because it's coming, right? Of course, yes, we could get a pullback, right? We could get a pullback. And right away, what I'm looking at here for ADA, going back to the Wyckoff in a minute, is we have a beautiful ascending triangle. I mean, come on. Ascending triangle here. ADA was extremely popular in the last bull run. Not sure what happened, but look at that. Beautiful ascending triangle. What's the measured move? Take it right about there, up to there. We'll bring it right about there. Doesn't have to be perfect, because this is just for entertainment purposes only. Got to do your own research. But 46 cents, look at that. Not bad at all. So 46 cents. Let's see if we have any confluence in that target. I can pull up my trend-based fib extension. Let's see, where do I want to pull it from? I guess I'll just pull it from here down to here. Look at that. Right between the 1414 and the 1618, and that's usually what the target is, right? It's usually right in here, and that's, boom, we got some confluence. So taking that off the screen, that's my target for ADA. Definitely bullish. Now, can anything happen bearishly? Of course, right? Of course, you got to always be on the lookout, because when things look too pretty, Sometimes they can be. Dragging this further down here, what could potentially be happening as well is, you guessed it, a shoulder, a head. Now this shoulder has a wick that took out the head. Not sure how I feel about that. But anyways, it came up here, and now we can start pulling back, right? We can even, as long as we hold above 26 cents, we're good. We want to, this is our base right in here. And by the way, that right there is Wyckoff accumulation. You can see first test, right? Second, and now you have your spring, and then boom, automatic rally, right? So very bullish on ADA. I'm looking for it to maybe come back down and then continue higher. But looking at this ascending triangle, I think we're ready. I think we are ready to go. I think this is coiling up. We're going to break out, potentially back test, and then go. And that would be like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 4, 5, right? So if you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, that's very bullish. 1, 2, 1, 2 means you get a 4, 5, 4, 5. So, and it just means more room to go to the upside. So zooming back out to the 3-day chart, we have basically covered it all, right? I'm trying to go as fast as I can. 1, 2, all of this is 3, 4, 5. We have a 5-wave move to the downside, and in wave 3 you have 5 subwaves within wave 3, so that's perfect, right? So we landed here, so now we have a 1, 2 potentially. Now this looks very 3-wave-ish, right? But it is what it is, right? So we have this move to the upside, this move to the downside. Now we're looking for another move back to the upside. So you could see that little target area I had drawn right. Let me see if I can zoom in here. This area right here, that was the target area. So if I just extend that out, right, to here, let me just do this right there, right? If I extend it out, what do we see? Well, we see a bigger left shoulder, a head, and let's say we can get it all the way to the target area. Remember, this was my target area right there, around that 46, 47 cent mark from that ascending triangle, right? So we have 1, 2. I know it's getting cluttered, but we have a 1, 2, 3. We're in 4 now, which is the triangle, and then 5. So let's come up here and meet this resistance right here. This is our big line right here, 46, 47 cents. So we have a shoulder, we have a head, and then what happens next? Maybe we come all the way down back to 31, 30 cents, swoop in for that left shoulder, then develop it, then consolidate, then go. I don't know. It's definitely possible. That would give us more of a sideways base, right? It would build up more volume. It would build up more everything, right? Because so far it's only this big. That's it. So if we come up, so pulling up the, well, I'll do that in a minute, but basically, I was going to say RSI to see if we have some divergence. Basically, I want to see the price continue higher to hit 47, 48 cents where our target was. Right now we're at 39 cents. So that move would be from where we are now up about an 18, 19% move. So about, just say 20%. So we're about 20% away from our target. And then after that, I would expect some strong resistance up here, right? Because remember, I'm going to have to take everything off the screen. But before I do that real quick, if we get to this target area, I'm expecting a pullback at that point, because this right here would be one wave. So now you need a pullback wave, and that pullback wave would develop the right shoulder. Then we can back test and go. So before I do that, check this out. The big question then becomes, would I rather hold ADA or XRP? Well, here's the problem. ADA went into a massive bull run. XRP's down here. ADA's up here. So that's a big gap, right? But that's not the problem. The problem here is we don't know if this is a retracement or a new bull run. See, for XRP, this is what it did, right? And then it came down, it had a crash, it had a retrace, and then it had reaccumulation sideways, and it's ready to go, right? We're just waiting for that pump. ADA has the rise, right? Same thing here. It had the crash, same thing here. And now we're waiting for the retracement. So I am split. I'm on the fence because it could go either way. But if I had to choose, I would say that Cardano, ADA, isn't a retracement. What do you mean by that? Well, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, and then go. That would be my first guess, right? That would be 1, 2, 3, right? And you might say, well, that's too big. Well, it could be, right? But at the end of the day, ADA already had a major bull run. And that's why I'm not so much interested in it like I am with XRP and XLM, the coins that have not had their bull run, right? And I can put them up side by side later. But nonetheless, I am very bullish on ADA. I really, really like ADA. I like Charles Hopkinson's. I like him. I didn't really care about what he said about the XRP community, but, to each his own, right? I like the chart. I like ADA as a project. I think they're going to go places. I think they got some work to do, but I think they have a very good future. And I would prefer ADA over Ethereum any day of the week. Remember, ADA is a top contender. It's in the top 10. It's competing for that. I think it's a layer 1 for that Ethereum spot, right? For people to build on ADA rather than build on Ethereum. But that's a topic for another day. The big thing here is, do we get this 1, 2 sideways base, go, or do we get 1, 2 retracement, then reaccumulation, then sideways, then go? That's what XRP did, right? XRP had a rise, a crash, a retrace, and I'm comparing it to XRP because XRP is neck and neck as far as market cap. Well, maybe not so much neck and neck, but they are right there in terms of market cap. So they are very close to each other. And they're about, same type of thing. Totally different project, totally different coin, but same type of valuation. So XRP had a rise. Well, actually, the rise was back here. It had a rise. This was XRP right here. Rise, crash, retrace. It only came to right here. That's it. Look at ADA. It came way up here. And then it went down for reaccumulation, and now it's sideways. Right? So ADA's up here, XRP's down here. And you might say, well, who cares? Well, the problem here is if ADA is the equivalent of where XRP is right here. So remember, this was XRP, rise, crash, retrace. Okay, that's XRP. This is ADA, rise, crash, retrace, right? So here's XRP's retrace, here's ADA's retrace. It doesn't matter where. I'm just giving you an example of what could potentially happen. The big question is, as an investor, I'm a hodler. I like to hodl. I'm an investor. Do I put my money in a coin I think is going to retrace, or do I put my money in a coin that had already retraced? That's what I'm saying. So I'm not trying to compete with the two, but I'm definitely comparing them. So I think this definitely is a sideways accumulation base, Wyckoff accumulation, right? I very much believe we are going to break out. We're going to break out, right? Like I said before, come up here a little bit, then maybe develop the right shoulder, then break out, back test, go. And I want to see it take out $1.20 all the way up to $1.60. So my guess would be between $1.21 and $1.60 for a retracement. Now, if we get through this is the big thing now for ADA. If we get through this, then it's on like Donkey Kong. It is on. It is so on. But then at that point, you already missed, right? If you're waiting for price to get through this right here, then you just missed all of this up to here. You just missed 500%. So that's my issue. That's why I have a little bit, right? But not too much. And I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This thing can go extremely high. And I really believe it will. The question I have, though, is I really believe we will get here. There's no doubt in my mind. I believe we will get to this level. My problem is, if we get to this level, are we going to retrace, right? This is the retracement. This is the rise. Remember, they go in 5 phases. You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, and then you have reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. And that would be a beautiful cup and handle. So I think, for example, let me put up XRP here. Bear with me. Okay, so XRP isn't giving me all the data, but that's okay. So basically, I'll just draw it in so that people know. So basically, XRP went way up here, and then it came down, right? So this was its rise, this was its crash, this was its retracement, and now it's in reaccumulation. So see how the price went sideways and then it retraced? But then what happened is we went down, right? So we had a sideways move, a retracement, then down. So same thing here. ADA sideways, we're going to have a retracement, then back down. But it's okay. It's what we have to do, right? It's not because it's bearish or it's because it's weak. It's because that's how the cycles work. Now, for example, here's the price of Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin do? Let's compare it to ADA. Okay, so here we go. So Bitcoin had a rise, right? And then a crash, and then a sideways base, just like ADA. Remember, just like ADA. So basically, ADA is right here. ADA is sitting right here as if Bitcoin was $4,500. So what did it do? It had this monster rise, monster crash, sideways base, and then what did it do? It went into a retracement. It didn't go into new all-time high. No. What did it do? It came sharp, and you made a lot of money. If you're in 88, you're going to make a lot of money. But is it going to break new all-time high? Is it going to give us that several thousand, 10x% move, whatever, right? I don't think so. At least not at the moment. I could be totally wrong. It could be the best performing asset of crypto history, right? But what I'm presenting here is evidence to suggest that, it's in a retracement. So ADA is in this retracement. Then, so you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, right? Sideways, and then blast off. So take a mental screenshot of that. Take a mental screenshot of that. Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So here is the ADA market cap. Right now it's a $13 billion market cap. Congratulations, right? Same thing. We have a rise, a crash, sideways box, right? Rise, crash. We're going to have a retracement, then reaccumulation, sideways, and then go. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to have a rise, crash, and then we go to the moon. No, no, no. I think we're going to have a retracement. Then we pull back for reaccumulation, just like Bitcoin, just like XRP. Then we go. Because remember, ADA is a cycle ahead. All of them are a cycle ahead compared to XRP. So here we go. Here's XRP. Same thing with ADA. So imagine ADA is right here. ADA is like right there. Okay? And you might say, well, why? Because look, I'm going to go over it again. You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retracement, and this is why I think ADA is going to go in a retracement. Remember, XRP, that's how we look at data. That's why we go back in time and we look. This was going back before ADA was even created, right? Let's see. Going back here, I'll start even over here. This was back in 2014. Check this out. Check this out. Watch this. You have a rise, you have a crash, right? So ADA is right here. So imagine ADA is right there. And then what did it do? It came all the way up in a retracement. It didn't go on to new all-time high. It could have, but it didn't. It went into a retracement. That's what I'm expecting ADA. I'm expecting it to go into a retracement, right? So rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. Okay. Now you're going to know why I'm so bullish on XRP. Because XRP had already completed that, right? Imagine ADA already went into its retracement, already went into reaccumulation, already went into a sideways base, and never broke a new all-time high. OMG. That is the most bullish setup on planet Earth. That's why I'm in XRP. XRP has already completed its phases. That's why everybody's so pissed off at the coin. That's why nobody likes it, because it's frustrating the heck out of them. Look how much people turned on ADA, right? A lot of people turned on ADA. Well, remember, ADA still hasn't went into a retracement, and let alone reaccumulation. So if ADA goes into a reaccumulation, then people are really going to turn on it, just like XRP. Okay, so that's why I'm thinking ADA is going to do this, retracement. It's going to go up into retracement. And remember, this is your pivot right here. Does it break its all-time high? XRP did not, right? Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways base. What happens next? Blast off. And when I mean blast off going way above its all-time high. Here's its all-time high. It's going to go way above it. Okay. Just like ADA, right? So remember, XRP already painted the picture. And I'm not saying it to compete. I'm using it as an example. Not just XRP, but if you look at Ethereum, if you look at other coins, right? So we had this rise, crash, looking for a retracement, then come back down for reaccumulation, sideways, blast off, right? But remember, so why would I hold ADA when it's right here? XRP is already here. It's close. Here's the finish line way up here. So just imagine, imaginary line right here. Here's the finish line. ADA's here, XRP's here. Why would I hold ADA? XRP is much closer to the finish line than ADA. Not saying because it's a better project or because of this or because of that or because of whatever. I'm saying because it had its 5 phases. 5. Rise. Crash. That's it. That's all it's had. Now we're in a retracement. XRP already had a retracement. That's why it never broke its new all-time high, because it took the long way home. It made the base bigger. That's why I'm so bullish on it, right? It had a rise. Then what happened? Then XRP pulled back into reaccumulation. Then it went sideways for months, over a year, like a year and a half. So XRP is basically in this triangle right here, right? So here is ADA and XRP side by side. So on the top you have ADA, on the bottom you have XRP. Sorry, this thing's in the way because I'm drawing on it, but basically there it is. The top screen is ADA, the bottom is XRP. So for example, ADA or XRP, let me turn that down a little bit, right there. XRP had a rise, we had a rise, okay. We had a crash, we have a crash, okay, great. Now we have what? A retracement. XRP went into a retracement. And remember, when XRP went into a retracement, everybody was laughing, ha ha ha, SEC sued. And remember, SEC had a big reason to do with it. But more importantly, that was the excuse of why it didn't, right? It was going to have it regardless, in my opinion. But basically everybody said, because look at, here's ADA's all-time high. We blasted off. And then here's XRP's line. We never went above it, right? XRP didn't go above like ADA did, right? So, yeah. So ADA or XRP had a retracement right here. So that's what I'm thinking for XRP. Or ADA, and a retracement. And then what did it do? Right? What did it do then? It came down. We're going to come down. Then we went sideways. Then we go sideways. And then we blast off to new all-time high. And then we blast off to new all-time high. And that's how it goes. That's how the cycle works. Right? That's how it works. So we just have to wait and see, but basically you have your sideways base, you have your markup, your rise, right? And then you have your crash. Let's do that red. You have your crash. So here we go. ADA is right here. Same thing here. So why would I buy ADA when XRP is right here? It's already at the finish line. It's almost gonna break out, right? So that's what I'm saying, guys. Now this is not to knock on ADA. I love ADA. I think there's a time and a place. That is why we have to look at the history, right? And it's the same with Bitcoin, right? So for example, if I say this is Bitcoin, right? This was a 20K rise, right? Then we went up to 14K. And then what happened after that? Then we had the C19 dump, and then we went to 60K. So that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe not that low. Maybe it went probably around here, and then we went, right? So we had the 14K, the C19 dump, and then continue higher. Now, I would love to be proven wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I hold ADA, right? I hope I'm wrong, and this is a 1, 2, and now we're just going to go and rip it to the upside, breaking new all-time high. But history shows that usually when you do that, you pull back, go sideways, and then go in a retracement, just like XRP is doing now. So XRP is basically at the finish line, and ADA still has a ways to go. So there you go. So just looking at XRP real quick, here's a great example back in here. Notice, right? Here's ADA, same, or an example, right? So ADA took off, which this is really XRP, by the way, but just using it as an example. Then it had a mega crash, right? Just like ADA. And now we're sitting right here. So we have a rise, crash, and then we have a retrace. It didn't break out, right? It just had a retrace. Then we went down for reaccumulation. Then we went sideways. So there you go. So same thing is happening on a bigger scale, right? Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, just like this here, right? Probably thinking, is this an XRP video? I thought this was an ADA analysis. Well, I have to use XRP as the example of everything, right? So yeah, and then same thing, with XLM and IOTA and things like that. I mean, even if you look at Filecoin, check out Filecoin. It's kind of like the same thing, right? You have this rise, this crash. I'm expecting a retracement, then go, right? So basically, as an investor, as a hodler, I'm looking for coins that are already here, right? I'm looking for coins that are already at the point of blast off, right? And I believe Filecoin and ADA are going to have a massive blast off, but is it going to break the all-time high? That's the question. And, that's where we go. So, for example, Bitcoin, same thing with Bitcoin. Why would I hold Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin is just in a retracement, right? You have your rise, your crash, and now it's in a retracement. What happens next? You guessed it. Reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So there you go. That's my prediction for Bitcoin. I think that this is what we're going to do. And you can hold me to it too. Screenshot it if you want. We're going to go up. Maybe we're not done yet. I think between 40 and 50K. We're going to get up there, pull back, right? The pullback could have already started. I don't know, right? So rise, crash, we're in the retracement. Then we're going to come down for reaccumulation. We're going to go sideways for a bit. And then we're going to develop this base right here because we have all this price, all this, and then we go, right? I don't think we're just going to go from here. I think we got to come down and reaccumulate. So like I said, I'm looking for coins that are already right in here. Kind of the same thing with Theta. I think Theta is in a unique position, but it's still in the same category, right? We have a rise, a crash. I'm looking for a big retracement. And remember, you can make a ton of money off these retracements. I mean, going back here, that's like a 600% move. So why not, right? We have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. So again, we're not there, but Theta is one of those coins where I'm not gonna not hold it, right? I'm a big believer in it, and I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope this is just a 1-2, and then we continue rocking. We don't need to come down for reaccumulation, right? So yeah, I really like Casper because Casper is sort of at the beginning of its life, and you could see a beautiful Wyckoff accumulation where you have this sort of in pattern, and then you have this long spring, this schematic. It makes me think boom, 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 and then we go. So I like this consolidation here. I'm just kind of rapid firing here. HBAR. So with HBAR, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we have A. Now I'm looking for B, and then C, and then go. So same thing. I'm looking for a retracement, back down, then go. So yeah. Algorand. Algorand is kind of like EOS. It broke its C19 low, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down, but now it's invalidated. So I'm looking at this like an A, B, C. So, you know, A, so this would be 1, A, B, C, or maybe 1's down here. 1, A, B, C, and then we go. So I like Algorand for a long-term hold. I think it's got a good position. Same thing with Ethereum. Just kind of giving you examples here. So look at it. I'll give you an example. Here's Ethereum, right? So Ethereum had a rise, it had a crash, and then it went into a retracement, and then it went into reaccumulation, and then it went sideways, and then it blasted off. So that's the same thing. You see what I'm saying? There's examples all over. So you have a rise, a crash, and now we're going into retracement, and then probably reaccumulation, and then go. But I really like Ethereum because of this ascending triangle here. Beautiful ascending triangle here. So the measured move of that ascending triangle, if we take it, let's be conservative, we'll take it from here, and then that gets us almost up to the all-time high, just about. So who knows, maybe everything I said is going to be wrong and we can break out. But as of now, it's okay to be wrong, right? The question is, are you hodling? Yes, I'm hodling, and you're hodling too. So if we get past retracement levels up here, if we get past those retracement levels, then it's a beautiful thing, right? The big question becomes is, when we get into the retracement levels, do we go down or do we go up? Right? That's the big question. And to me, just like all the examples, I think we retrace. We come down a little bit. Then we retrace, right? We come down a little bit. Then we go sideways, and then we go. So I'm looking at this like a cup and a handle. And right now we're just developing, we're still developing the cup. It's very premature, extremely premature. Dogecoin. I don't know what to do with Dogecoin. Well, so for example, Dogecoin here, right, is very sloppy, but you had a rise, you had a crash, you had a retracement. I don't know if this is the retracement or this, right? So crash, retrace, and then we went sideways, reaccumulation, and then we blasted off. So basically, I like to compare Doge to XRP. XRP is basically right there. So knowing what you know now, if you can go back to 2020 and have the opportunity to buy Dogecoin, you could be a millionaire, right? But chances are most people didn't. So, but I believe I have that same opportunity for XRP, not financial advice. I believe XRP is right here. Because if you look at it, just look at it. It's beautiful. It looks exactly like XRP. Here's a perfect example. Look at this. This is Dogecoin compared to XRP. If you look at Dogecoin, I mean, oh my goodness. You can see the difference here. And it's really hard to see because it's basically a flat line. But let me just pull it as high as I can go. So you could see all-time high, it came down, and then Dogecoin shot off to the moon, right? XRP just kind of went down for reaccumulation. So that's an example of a coin doing that, right? So I'm expecting XRP to come and meet up with Dogecoin way up here, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. But Dogecoin's sitting way up here, XRP sitting way down there. I mean, there's the all-time high, right? So, but yeah, I don't want this to get too long. What's next? Pepe. I don't even know why I have Pepe on. It's very hard to know what's going on with this. It's so brand new. If I had to make my best guess, 1, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. Dow Jones. Look at that. Dow Jones is pumping, huh? Everybody said we were going down into a bear market, sell everything, right? And I think that's still coming, by the way, but just at a different pace, right? A, B, C, potentially. Or, actually, I'm going to do a more in-depth on the Dow Jones another day. I just don't have time. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, I think, is going to be coming down. What first? I think it's got a good chance of making another high. 1, 2. That's 3, 4, and now we're in the middle of the 5th. So I think it's got a good chance of making one more little high, but then ultimately coming back down. So we'll just have to wait on that. But you can see the wave is just getting extended. Which brings us to our grand finale, which is Quant. Now remember how I said, what are the coins that have done that? This is a prime example of what I was talking about, right? You have a rise, you have a crash, you have a retrace, OMG, right? And now you're come down for reaccumulation, sideways reaccumulation. This thing is primed, ladies and gentlemen. Most coins, like I said, example ADA, are down here. We have the rise, we have the crash, and everything is down here. It still needs to go up into a retracement. ADA is still not into its retracement, right? So QNT is, right? It already made its retracement, just like XRP. That's why I'm so bullish on XRP and QNT and XLM, because of this reason. Because we have already completed all the phases, right? Anytime you have a big rise, you have a big crash. Every time you have a big crash, you have a retracement. Most coins have already, most coins have not retraced, right? Bitcoin is retracing now, right? So the question is, when Bitcoin stops retracing, what happens to the rest of the market? The rest of the market's going to go down into reaccumulation, right? So we have a rise, a crash, a retrace. And if Bitcoin has a rise, crash, retrace, and then it starts going down, then this would mean, right, for like ADA example, we would have our reaccumulation phase. So that is why I'm very bullish on QNT. So yeah, I think QNT is in a prime position. Let's see here. Let's pull up some targets. So how is a $700 QNT sound? Because I think it's definitely possible. I would say between $600 and $700 would be the main big target. Now, if we get super lucky, we can get all the way up to $1,700, which would be insane. And I think it's possible. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but I think the $1,500 to $1,700 would be your grand finale target, right? So those would be my two target bases right there. So putting it back to log scale, you can see it better, right? So there you go, guys. I know it was all mixed up a lot, right? I might have to put some timestamps in there to make it easier for people, but I'd rather just all the coins need to be listened to so that, like, for example, if all you care about is ADA, then it's important to understand what I have to say about the other coins so that it makes sense on what I'm talking about. Maybe I just made you more confused. But anyway, QNT, I really like it. You know, we already had all the major areas that we need to do. So we have this move up and then this sort of counter move down. So I'm really expecting a big breakout at some point. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you can, leave a like, leave a subscribe. And if there's any coins you want me to take a look at, let me know. I just kind of did a rapid fire on different coins. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. But have a great week. I know it's Sunday. Just for fun, go to the weekly candle. And the weekly candle is going to close in about 2 hours. So let's actually look at the short time frame here. Weekly candle looks fine. Just consolidating, right? Question is this done, right? And people can say it looks like an ascending triangle, which could be, right? But in which case it would break. It would have already broken out, right? So it's holding support. But I'm looking at this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, and then all of that is C. And now we have a 1 and 2. So guys, that's very bullish. Very bullish. So we have everything labeled up here, right? So we have 1, 2, and now we have this little 1, 2 in here. So let's see what happens here. If I go even closer to the 12-hour chart, very hard to tell right now, but I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is A, and now we're in some kind of B wave, and then we'll look for a C wave. Maybe the C wave can come all the way back down to $90. So as long as we stay above $89 to $85, so as long as we stay above, say, $90, I think we're doing good, right? So we have this correction down, and then we work our way higher. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, take care, guys.